Hey guys, Ninja here, and I'm back with some more Enigmatica 8. In this episode, we're going to tackle one major task, and that task is to complete the Immersive Engineering questline. Now, in order to do this, we're going to have to do several other things first, so let's go ahead and get started. Let's take a look at our mining gadget we built in the last episode. As you can see, I have built a few upgrades, and over here in JEI, you can see you make these blank upgrade modules in order to create all these different upgrades you can do. And it's simply diamonds, a glass pane, and some lapis and redstone. And then each of these upgrades can get kind of expensive. I think we have the void one, so this one's not too bad. And the magnet's not too bad, but then you start getting into these tiered upgrades. So the fortune, I have level 3 fortune, and to do that required significant amounts of lapis. I think I used up almost all my lapis. I mean, this is several blocks, so each block is 9 lapis, so that's quite a bit. And I used a bunch of diamonds too, so this one used a bunch of diamonds. That's an entire diamond block. One of these took, I want to say, a bunch of diamonds. I could have been wrong. Yeah, I guess I'm wrong. A bunch of redstone, used up a lot of redstone. But if we go take a look, you can see I have the light one, so this places a light if the surrounding light level is lower than 8. I have the upgraded battery to tier 3, a tier 3 fortune, tier 3 range, magnet, efficiency tier 5, a void, and I can mine up to a 3x3 radius, so 1x1 or 3x3. So this is really useful for creating tunnels. The other thing that I crafted in between episodes was the scanner device. And this is really useful for finding stuff. So if I shift right click, I can see the modules I have installed. And the only thing I'm using right now is rare ores. So I'm able to find diamonds. So what we can do now is we can head down to our mining area and I can show you how this works. We're down in our mining area here. So there's some few ores here we can use to demonstrate the range on it now. So where before I had to be right next to it, now we can be quite a bit of ways, and it's a lot faster, and I have it set on that 3x3. So we're just soaking the ores up, and I mean, you can reach pretty far. Yeah, so we can get those over there. Oh, that's the end of the range. So that's how far it'll go right there. And if I show you, we are using some, that's my backpack, not that device. Edit filters. So we are already been doing some mining with it. That's the only other thing other than building the scanner I've been doing in between episodes is just gathering a bunch of resources. So I've already got some filters set up because I have plenty of this stuff already, so we don't need that, and it just voids it. And if we right click our scanner, it gives us some locations. So it looks like there's some gold right there, there's some gold there. I was really hoping to find some diamonds, not seeing any. We know there's some gold right down here, so let's just mine down and grab that gold. See, now we got some gold, which is definitely a resource we need more of. Now let's move a little bit and see if we can't get a scan on some diamonds. Not seeing any. There's some more. That's that same gold we saw. Let's head over this way. And let's just mine a little bit to light the area up in front of us. That's convenient. And let's scan again. Oh, there's some diamonds right there. So let's mine down and get those. Did we get them? Believe so. Nice. Now we have 2 diamonds. So not a whole lot, but a little bit. I think that's enough of a demo of the mining gadget. Let's head on back to our base and get started on our first task of the day. So we're back over at the base. I did charge our mining gadget back up because, as you saw in the previous clip, we had used just over half of the energy, so now it's fully charged again. I guess we could go ahead and pop off our scanning gadget. It's a little smaller. It doesn't take long. See, already full. And you'll notice we got a bunch of these ores, and you're probably curious where those came from. Well, if we take a look at our quest book, I completed these 3 quest lines for the mining gadget. We got 1 left, and that's where all these ores came from, so that's pretty cool. And while we're in our quest book, let's take a look at Immersive Engineering. You can see that there's quite a bit left, and most of what's left are fairly large multi-block structures. So what we're going to have to do is create a new room because we don't have the space for these multi-block structures. So we're going to put a room about the same size as this room under the floor here. So 1 floor down. And we're going to create a staircase right here behind this wall to go down to it. So I guess there's nothing left but to get started. So you guys ready to see the mostly finished build? Well, let's head on down and take a look. So over here is where I decided to put the staircase. So it just cuts in here and takes it down using some blocks we've been using. And then you'll see here we've created a pretty good sized room. It's the same dimensions as the room above plus 4 blocks right here. And I think it turned out pretty good. We used a similar design for now. And I've left this open because we're about to start our next project and we need access to all this. I did rewire our cable over to our cube through the single block space that I left in between the 2 floors. And I added this little sunroof. I don't know what you want to call this. this is the river up above, so there's water on the other side of that glass. I thought that was a nice little touch. But this room is, for the most part, done. I'm sure we'll do some decor and work on it here and there, but the only other thing that I done was I shifted that door over one. It was really bothering me. It was, I don't know if anybody has noticed that, but it was offset from the door up above. Or we can just go out and I'll show you what I'm talking about. But now they're lined up. So that door and that door are now lined up. This was offset one, and it was really bothering me. And I finally took the time to move it over one. And I think that looks better. So what we're gonna do now is double our power generation. Once I got to looking at some of these multi-blocks, I realized we're gonna need more power. So we are going to go into a sequence of making a whole bunch of plates, a whole bunch of rods, so we can, one, double our power generation, and two, start putting together some of these immersive engineering multi-blocks so we can get that quest line finished up. So let's get started. Okay, so I got a whole bunch of stuff. I'm not even going to attempt to do math on this. I know I needed a specific amount of these constant plates. I didn't want to make extra on these, but the rest of this stuff, I just made a whole bunch of this stuff. So let's go ahead and dump it into our storage. Not everything, but a lot of this. Oops. Yep, nope, that goes back in there. We didn't need any more uranium because we made way too much in the previous episode when we created them originally. So let's go ahead and make the stuff that we need to make our thermoelectric generators. So we should need a whole bunch of these. All right, we'll just start with 40. I don't seem like enough. I may need more sticks. I only made 5, so let's make some sticks. Here we got some wood in here. All right, let's just dump all these in there. It is so nice having this refined storage system and being able to craft all this stuff real easily. Yeah, that's more like it. Let's build that many. I don't know how many more we'll need, but all right, let's see here. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, that should be how many we need. 17. And then we should have everything we need. Dump those in there and boom, 17. And now we head downstairs. I think we're going to be creating more than these are capable of transferring. I think these are around 1300 FE a tick, and we're going to be somewhere around 1500. Actually, no, we'll be 1425. No, 14 times 14 is 28. So 1728 RF a tick. That's okay though. We'll make it work. Let's go ahead and pop these on. Go there, there, go there, and goes there. If I can get this all right the first time. And we have extras. Why do we have extras? What did I? Oh, the middle row. There we go. Now let's add our blue ice and our uranium. So uranium here, blue ice there. And I'll be sure to test this in the future. Probably off camera just to make sure we didn't mess anything up. If you guys see anything, drop a comment, because it would not be uncommon for me to make a mistake. And then have to come back and fix it later. Happens all the time. Alright, now we need a uranium block there. There. What did I mess up? I messed something up. Oh, I messed something up there on that one. What did I do wrong? How did this get off? There. Is that right? Whoa, I am not sure how this has happened. That should be uranium. That should be ice. Oops. Oh, and I have a silk pick, so let's use that. I told you, it is not uncommon for me to make a mistake and then have to go back and fix it. I think I need to take these out too. Yeah. Alright, and now we need to grab some more blue ice real quick. Alright, let's go see if we can fix this. Well, this row should be ice. Uranium. And then one there. Then this row should be ice. And then uranium right here. And then ice. And that is a done job. Am I missing one somewhere? Yes, I'm missing a piece of uranium there and a piece of blue ice right there. And I'll wire this up later. I've got some further plans for this area. It's going to take a little bit of effort. What I want to do now is start taking a look at the rest of our immersive engineering multi-blocks. And we're going to look at putting the crusher and sawmill. I think we're going to put these in the floor upstairs. And then we're going to put the bigger machines down here. I'm not sure. I haven't made up my mind yet. But we need to go make some more of these components. So I'm going to go work on crafting that stuff up. Okay, so I got the crusher built. It took a little longer than I expected. It's been a while since I built any of these multi-block structures, so I couldn't remember how to put it together, but luckily we have a book that tells us how. This should be correct. So we're going to go ahead and right click it with our hammer. If we can find the right spot. Oh, right there in the center. So now this is set up. We just have to give it power, which goes, I'm not sure where the power goes. I think it goes, oh, it goes right there. The power goes right there. And then we can stick a lever here to cut it on and off. And then the output is here, and you physically have to drop whatever you want to crush into the top. So I'm going to work on getting this set up, and then we'll test it out. So this kind of shows you how I'm going to set up these machines. I've got the power running down from the ceiling into the machine. I have barrels in front of the output and in front of the conveyor extractor here, which is then pulling it up the machine and then dumping it physically into the machine. So is this the most efficient way of doing this? No, but it looks cool, and we're really probably not going to be using this machine a whole lot. I just wanted to set it up. So we're going to go ahead and test it out and see if it works. We're going to pop the iron ore in there, and we can see it's going up. Going into the crusher, which physically crushes it. And I think I picked some of this up. We're going to send it back up. Yep, boom, boom. This thing is, if anything, looks cool. And then there is our iron dust. And we got some nickel from that too as a byproduct. So we're probably going to start using Silk Touch on all of our mining now, so we can get the raw ore blocks themselves and not the little nuggets that is updated with a newer version of Minecraft. That way we can double our iron output and get, so that was 8 ore blocks, and now we have 16 iron dust, which we can smelt into 16 iron ingots. So what I'm going to do now, we're getting kind of short on time. I'm trying to pack a lot into this episode. There's multiple machines I want to build. So you've already seen a sequence of me building these various blocks and putting this one together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get all the blocks that we need, which is a combination of things that we've already used on the crusher, maybe a few others. If so, I'll highlight them. I'm going to put them together without hammering them and then bring you guys back. That is about the only way we're going to get any more into this episode. So let's go ahead and get started. Wow, that was an incredible amount of steel. I had prepared a bunch for this episode, but I had to stop and make even more. Well, the first one we're going to look at is our arc furnace. And if we take a look at our book, where is it at? There it is, arc furnace. You can see that it uses steel scaffolding, steel slabs, whatever these are, steel something, steel blocks, reinforced blast bricks, light engineering blocks, heavy engineering blocks. It's quite a bit of stuff. This is the biggest one, and it's the one I built first. And these are steel sheet metal. That's what those were. And I'll just take you around so you can see the back. And we've got it all put together. So we're going to hammer it right now and see what happens. I think this is where you hammer it at. And it built. So I dropped this one down so it wouldn't be bumping the ceiling. So the top is one block lower than it would be. The rest of these aren't as big. This is a reinforced blast furnace. So it's just like our blast furnace we have outside. It just has these preheaters, and it's made out of the reinforced blast bricks. So let's go ahead and right click this one. Oh, not sure where to do this one at. Not there, not there. Oh, messed that up. I am clicking all over the place. Is it the top? Well, let's take a look at the book. I may be missing something on this one. Improve blast furnace. So we have that. Oh, we need a hopper. Ah, we did forget something. Let's run upstairs and get a hopper real quick. It wouldn't be a Building with Agro Ninja episode if we didn't forget something. Hopper. and a few blocks to get up there to put it down. Well, this almost went smoothly. We should be able to just stick it right in the middle. Now let's right click it. There we go. Improved blast furnace. Next is the sawmill. And if we take a look at this one, you can see it uses some iron sheet metal, some steel scaffolding, a couple of heavy engineering blocks. I think that's 6 light engineering blocks, and one of these right here, which is a redstone engineering block, and then some conveyor belts. And we're just going to right click this with a hammer, and now we have a sawmill. And this one over here is going to be an automated workbench. I don't know if we'll use it for anything, but I'm going to go ahead and craft one just to have it. Who knows? But you can see it's some more of the same blocks we've been using, just set up in a different configuration. I forgot I could spin this around and show it to you guys. So we're going to go ahead and hammer that one. And the last one we're building in this room today is the assembler. And you can see it's got some more iron sheet metal, some scaffolding, more redstone engineering block. It's got 2 light ones in the middle and a couple conveyor belts. So let's go ahead and hit this with a hammer. I think it's that one right there. Nope. There. Nope. Nope. Take a look at the book. Where do we hammer this at? Does not show us. Oh, I don't want to hammer that. That'll make it. Let's try it. Oh, that's like a catch-22. I thought we were going to crash because like hitting a conveyor belt with a hammer changes direction, but it formed. So that is several multi-blocks right there. In between episodes, I'm going to decide how and which ones we actually use and set them up sort of like we have with this one, just kind of manual inputs and outputs using barrels and conveyor belts and hooking the power up. There is 2 last things that I would like to squeeze into this episode. And one of those is a new way to store power and wirelessly access it, which is going to be incredible for the final project. But in order to do that, I need something I don't have. But we'll take a look at JEI real quick. And what we're going to look at crafting are these power cells. And they've changed the name of them. I cannot remember what they called them. It's something cell. Dimensional cell, not power cell. And in order to craft these, you need prismarine shards, which I do not have. But if we take a look at our map, my buddy gave the coordinates for the nearest temple he's been able to find, which is way over here. So I'm about to hop in the chopper, and I'm going to go over here and get some prismarine shards, or some blocks that we can turn into prismarine shards. And then we're going to set up a new power storage system. So let's go ahead and get started on that. Well, that was a lot of fun. We got some good stuff, some dark prismarine, some prismarine and prismarine bricks, some sponges, and some other things. We've already actually crushed some of this through our crusher to get a whole bunch of the shards that we needed. And I've already made a whole bunch of these downstairs, and we'll go look at those in just a second. But just to show you again how they're made. 4 blocks of redstone, a diamond, 2 of those prismarine shards, an emerald, and one of these machine frames, which is blue dye, 4 iron, and 2 gold nuggets. Not too bad, but man, that was a lot of redstone to do what I done. I don't have much left at all. I don't even know if I have a full stack. Good thing we're almost done. You can see I've started to move things around. I'm not 100% happy with how this is turning out, so don't be alarmed if there's some massive changes going into the next episode. This is the only machine I haven't hooked up because we need 3 graphite bars. And to get those, you got to crush 48 coke dust to make 4. No, that math is wrong. It's 8 per graphite bar, and it needs 3 of them. So that's 24. It doubled because I had 24 and it made 48 coke dust. And I did that before we did this recording because this thing is very loud. You can see I stacked up a 3x3, so 27 power cells. So we have 27 million FE storage capacity now. And these are all linked together using these cards. So now I can set one of these anywhere in the world, attach a card to it, and now I have 28 million storage, and it can pull from this wherever I'm at. Now, the further away you get from this, the more it costs to use it. Like there's a degradation. You can see right now that costs 0.0%. You have to be pretty far for it to really start mattering. So we'll go ahead and pull this back up. I do have the sawmill completely hooked up. Let's go ahead and run some test logs through it just to see it in action. I really like the way this thing looks. Let's turn it on. That would help. It puts the logs down. It runs through and strips them. And then it cuts them into planks. And it just looks really cool. And you get about triple. So you get a little bit more than you would if you were turning them into planks by hand. I did add another machine. We're not going to get into these today. We don't need them. So I did add one more machine, this industrial squeezer. If we take a look at it, this is where we'll put, and we'll just go ahead and do this many. This is where we'll put that coke dust, and it squeezes it into that hop graphite dust. It actually made, 6. And then this we can just run through a furnace, and it'll create the graphite bars that we need for the arc furnace. But we'll get to that at another time. Oh, actually, I need to go. I need to go smelt them and then run them through the metal press, and then I'll have the graphite electrode. But we're not going to get to that in this episode. So if we take a quick peek at our quest book. You'll see we've got a lot of unfinished things. So I did make this off camera just to finish it. We don't need it. And you can just see it's called an item batcher. It uses some treated wood, things that we've been making, in this electronic component, which we made from our engineer workbench. So we'll accept the reward for that. And then the Atom router, again, stuff we've been making. We'll take those rewards. Oops, I didn't mean to close it. And external heater was used on our blast furnace. It's a component in the 2 additional pieces. And we got the improved blast furnace. We got the crusher. We got the sawmill. We got the assembler. We got we didn't get the mixer, but we have done the stuff to make it, I guess. And we've got the industrial squeezer, but we don't have the fermenter built. And we don't have these other 2 things. So we're not going to be able to accomplish that. So I know our main objective was to complete immersive engineering. Oh, our workbench. But we're not going to quite get there in today's episode. We have a few more things left, and the windmill. But we're going to wrap up the episode by going and building our excavator that we talked about in the last episode, and that's going to wrap us up. So let's go ahead and go put that together. So I got our excavator built here, and it's just another one of these immersive engineering multi-blocks. If we take a look at our book, this is the exterior structure, and this is the piece that goes in the middle. But if you notice, something on this page requires 4,096 FE per tick in order to operate. Well, that means we have a problem. This thing was draining our power cell massively. I just had to flip it off. Now, we can come out here every once in a while and flip it on. I was able to run it long enough to get over a stack of iron ore, over a stack of nickel, and over a stack of sulfur dust. So that's really awesome. And you'll also notice that I'm using a special chest here. It's called a sophisticated storage spruce diamond chest. My buddy was showing these to me. It has some upgrades you can apply that increases the stack size. So we're going to play with this some between episodes. I did go ahead and create those 3 graphite electrodes. It ended up needing another 12 of those ingots. I misspoke, another 6. It needed 12 total. And that's what we used to make these graphite electrodes, because it used 4 per press to make them. The last thing we're going to do real quick, though, is take a quick peek at our quest book, because we were able to finish off the arc furnace quest line because we got those 3 electrodes. Some more goodies. And I went ahead and made a windmill and threw it in the storage, which we may need to set that up for power. And then there's our excavator. So in between episodes, like I said, I'm going to work on doing some cleanup, some decorating, a bunch of resource gathering, and, you know, put a plan together to figure out how we can keep this thing running. And if we flip it on, you'll see it'll start draining it, and it'll drain it all the way down, because we're not creating not even half the power that thing requires. I mean, I guess we could go steal a link card from my buddy, but I don't think he would appreciate that. So we better not do that. But let's go ahead and wrap this episode up. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. We got a lot accomplished, possibly too much. I have a lot to go through and move around and organize in between episodes, but I'll worry about that. If you did enjoy the episode, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you have any suggestions or feedback, please leave a comment. And don't forget to subscribe. This is Agro Ninja, and that's a wrap.